how did we get to the point where women are choosing careers over relationships and men are choosing solitude over relationships? At what point did we decide that being alone is more beneficial than being together with someone? It's really sad to see that more and more people, especially men, are checking out of dating and are giving up on finding their soulmate or finding a compatible partner to be with. And I think a lot of people forget that we are and we will always be stronger as a team, two people together. Two halves of a whole will always go further in life, faster in life, and be happier in life than other people who choose to stay alone and be alone forever.
It is not really surprising that males these days are reluctant to approach women. The dating and relationship scene has undergone tremendous upheaval as a result of social movements like the Me Too movement, modern feminism, and a growing emphasis on consent and polite boundaries. While these campaigns have benefited many individuals and shed light on significant issues, they have also prompted males to exercise caution. An air of uncertainty and hesitancy seems to have replaced the straightforward, forthright approaches of traditional courtship.
Men don't want the traditional woman no more.
I don't think it's that men don't want the traditional women anymore. I think it's a number of factors right there. Let me just deal with the unsexualized part. The hoes they got better bait. That's really the thing. But what they're drawing in is different from what the more conservatively dressed woman, the conservatively dressed sexy woman, is drawn in. I don't like when we go to extremes where it's either, Brittany Renner is what we're talking about when we say the hoe, but we're talking about Brittany Cooper when we talking about the conservatively dressed woman. Like, no. There's a middle ground of a solid, decent looking, cute, attractive woman that's conservatively dressed but still got some sex appeal.
To be honest, I'd rather just be a little lonelier than deal with all the hassle of dating. I'm really not in a place emotionally and financially where I can deal with sorting through a bunch of misses to find a Mrs. Nowadays, with dating apps, there's always something new and more exciting just around the corner. So many women I've dated have abruptly broken things off because they found something more exciting. Dating is like taking on a part-time job. I don't have the time or the energy. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Social media, Hollywood, and porn have really altered the expectations of the general public across the board when looking for a mate. It's actually really messed up psychologically when a person thinks about it. Specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who conveniently hold themselves to extremely low standards but feel entitled to the best. More specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who act like victims when they're confronted with equally high expectations.
Many males may be reluctant to approach women in this new period of continuously changing norms because they worry that their overtures may be misunderstood or considered unwanted. The task of initiating a conversation has grown increasingly difficult, as it can be difficult to draw a clear distinction between expressing interest and going too far. Rather than risking rejection in person, dating has moved to apps and social media, where swiping left or right is simpler and less daunting.
I mean, dating after you are 40 years old is ghetto. Like, it's so ghetto. Especially if you're like a woman who's independent and got her own. I think the dating pool is way smaller for us. Like, I am so over it. I'm over it. I'm 40 years old and I get it. I don't look like I'm 40. So I attract a lot of young men and like I am very vibrant and I listen to like reggaeton, trap, all that stuff that is like appealing to like the younger kids or whatever. But like even the dudes that are my age, like they're playing games. They're playing games. Like, baby, I don't got time to be texting all day. Like, plan something. Plan something. Like, I don't got that time to be on the phone, texting back and forth, what you doing this, and like, plan something. Don't even get me started with the app. Do not even, like, app is deleted. I'm done with it. I gave it a good 3 months, tried it, and it was just like endless texting. Endless texting for nothing. Like, why are you on a dating app if you're not trying to meet people? For what? I feel like in this time, in this generation, men are just emotionally unavailable. They're just not, they don't want to be emotionally available, especially when they meet a woman that is got her own, is successful, pay all her bills, is pretty, is knowledgeable. Like, what the F? What in the actual F? What in the actual F? I am just like over it. I am so done. Like, I don't want to date. Like, I'm done. Like, I hate dating. They want to talk to like multiple people and see which one. Like, no, I am the price. Like, I am the price. You're not gonna try to play me around to see which one of these you're talking to is better than me. I'm better. Nah. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. I don't know who can relate, but I'm just so done. Like, I'm done. Dating in 2024 is ghetto.
Face-to-face interactions, which were once the foundation of a connection, are becoming less common and practically extinct. This change has resulted in a less intimate, more impersonal kind of communication, with the convenience of technology eclipsing the allure of in-person interactions.
Women think that if I do it more for him, listen, like that if I pick up his kids, if I give him as much sex as he wants, if I turn him out, I show him I'm that ride or die chick, I'm that chick, right? And the more I do, they think that I'm going to get his affection. But that ain't how men operate. And y'all can tell me this, watch this. A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits to her based on who she is to him. Now watch this. If I look at that same woman and I look at a woman who nurtures me, empowers me, helps me to grow, supports me, all of a sudden, the way I look at her brand becomes different. So I put her in a different category.
Prenups are regularly thrown out all the time. They're typically non-enforceable, especially the longer the marriage goes on, the less likely they are to be enforced. So, you know, you hear a lot of these stories, prenups just get thrown out. I think are going to have to rewrite the marriage laws to incentivize men to get married, because men are waking up to the fact that men get absolutely destroyed in marriage and in divorce. Financially, when it comes to the kids, women are more likely to get custody. 50% of marriages end in divorce. I think you said 80% of divorces are initiated by women.
90% if she's college educated.
90% if she's college educated. 90% of child support payments go from men to women. 97% of alimony payments go from men to women. So it's just marriage. If you're a betting man, it's not a good bet.
Furthermore, let us not act as though relationship catastrophes like betrayal, abuse, and adultery are merely small hiccups. Because of these severe wounds, putting your trust in someone else feels like stepping into the ring with Tyson again. So what is the wise course of action? Men are staying away because they are sensible, not because they are afraid. Would anyone in their right mind want to relive that nightmare of healing? It seems to make sense to put your health first, rather than resuming your dating life.
What I can appreciate about Passport Bros is I think it's an effective flag being raised for Western women as well. I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to find someone. I'm not saying that they're not going to get screwed over. I'm not even necessarily saying that I would encourage men to go do it. Like you said, if you want to, cool. The motivation for it is the fact that men are still expected to act very traditionally. They're expected to be very chivalrous. They're expected to be protectors. Maybe they're not expected to provide to the same extent now that women can essentially match them on income. But if that's what a man's duty to you is, to be chivalrous, it's very, very loosely defined what a woman's duty to a man is.
It's very ambiguous.
And that is why I think they go to places where they are actually taught from a young age how to treat a man. What is your duty to a man?
Then I saw this video about how guys are like maybe shy or scared to ask girls out now. I don't know why they're not going up to a woman. Like, what's holding them back from that?
Because of feminism and Me Too and all that shit. And because women will put men on blast who like maybe awkwardly approach them.
Yeah.
And like also those gym TikTok videos where girls like work out in the gym and then there's like a guy who like glances at them for like 1 second and they blast them. That's what guys are scared of. And these guys aren't even doing anything wrong. Sometimes they're not even looking in their direction. But like, so there's like this social component now where like people are terrified to get like exposed on social media. So
let's not overlook the challenges of dating women in today's society. Dating women in today's world is akin to throwing money, time, and effort into a void where there is minimal to no possibility of obtaining anything valuable. So what is the point? Men are beginning to realize they have far better things to do unless someone spectacular just happens to fall into their laps. It all comes down to establishing your priorities, and for many people, dating just is not enough anymore.
Hey y'all, it's been a while. I have been out and about and doing my thing, but just checking in, some new things going on. Wanted to see what you guys thought. I have been seeing a younger guy, about 10 years younger than I am, and he does okay for himself. He has a cute little house out in the country, and the truth is it's not my thing. And he understands that and knows that I have a different background than he does, and I have a different net worth than he does, and I know I'm going to come off like a bitch and sound like, you know, I don't have my head on straight, but it's definitely a lifestyle change, and I'm wondering if anybody's experienced this. I really care about him, and he really cares about me, and we've done a lot of chatting about this, but he's probably not ever going to want to move out of his cute little house out in the country. And I'm probably never going to want to move into his cute little house in the country, just because I'm a Libra. I'm into my surroundings. I need to be like aesthetically happy, and there's a lot of work to be done, and I don't think it's going to get done. So anyway, I know this is like totally superficial and stupid, but this is what's on my mind, and I wanted to get somebody's opinion. I don't need haters telling me I'm a bitch and I need to be, you know, coming down off my high horse. I understand that people come from different backgrounds and do different things, and we all have to kind of make our way and feel right with who we end up with. So just checking. Anybody date younger people who might not be in the same financial spot as you, and your comfort level with that? Maybe guys are more comfortable with it just because it's the traditional role, but and maybe I'm not comfortable with it because it's not the traditional role. I don't know. I'm just asking. It's what's on my mind, and there you go. And did you notice I didn't say hardly at all? So excited.
Though let us not sugarcoat it. Online dating is more like a circus than a leisurely stroll in the park. It may be the preferred method of meeting people these days. Despite its convenience, it presents a complex maze of possibilities. Isn't it an endless array of potential matches? Instead of being liberating, it is downright debilitating, trapping men in a never-ending cycle of swiping and making them too afraid to commit to anything more than a cursory swipe left or right. Let's face it, the foundation of internet dating is utter superficiality. Sincere ties? When everyone is more preoccupied with honing their filters than genuinely getting to know someone. Good luck with that.
Is dating today, in your opinion, harder than it's ever been?
I was friends with my boyfriend before we started dating, and I feel like that's a more natural transition than like seeing features on your screen and trying to make a decision based on like a list of things.
People just try and avoid things because I think they're scared to say things straight up.
One red flag and you're kind of like, oh, I could go find somewhere else. You don't need to have one person when you could have like 5.
Honestly, I don't know. I've had really bad luck. So everything. Like, I've been treated like shit.
I think a big part of it is because of social media.
People see a lot, they are exposed to a lot. They're always looking for better.
Everyone is always looking for the best thing, and they always think something else is around the corner, and you almost have too much access to too many people.
So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right now.
Aww. Is this the consequences of your own actions? Wait, I'm sorry. We're addressing men's issues, so this is a serious matter. Have you guys ever heard of Eat, Love, Pray? There's therapy.
It is crazy how many stitches of this video I've seen of women that are just laughing, telling jokes, or just straight up blaming men in a tone that tells them that they deserve it. But what a lot of these women don't understand is that those men, they chose that loneliness over being with a woman, especially a woman that demonstrates zero empathy. A woman that is just straight up unkind. Women that have empowered themselves to the point where they believe that they are superior to men. Women that just straight up act like they don't like men.
Then, there are the older women showing up with their laundry list of demands, like refusing to move into a man's house but still wanting to date him.
To be honest, I'd rather just be a little lonelier than deal with all the hassle of dating. I'm really not in a place emotionally and financially where I can deal with sorting through a bunch of misses to find a missus. Nowadays, with dating apps, there's always something new and more exciting just around the corner. So many women I've dated have abruptly broken things off because they found something more exciting. Dating is like taking on a part-time job. I don't have the time or the energy. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Social media, Hollywood, and porn have really altered the expectations of the general public across the board when looking for a mate. It's actually really messed up psychologically when a person thinks about it. Specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who conveniently hold themselves to extremely low standards but feel entitled to the best. More specifically, unrealistic expectations are held by people who act like victims when they're confronted with equally high expectations.
Or maybe they're just genuinely not interested in you and they're not trying to play a game. A lot of men don't play games. It's not always about you.
These purported preferences for independence and comfort? Please, it is simply another method to make things more difficult and elicit angry outbursts from guys. Drama, incompatibility, and never-ending headaches are certain. All this crap is just too much trouble for guys who want to develop something substantial. Let us also be honest about the ladies who are currently complaining about how bad their dating lives are going and accusing males of losing interest. This is precisely what occurs when society standards are turned on their head, Me Too takes control, and women begin erecting walls like limits around themselves. Allow me to provide a dose of harsh reality. It is not surprising that dating in the present era has devolved into this complex maze where romance seems more like negotiating a minefield than anything really pleasurable.
How I feel after going out in public and getting zero compliments, zero people approaching me, zero people asking me for my number when this is a known thing for girls to experience.
The reason why men don't chase as much anymore is because they can easily go onto Tinder, go onto a dating app, and they can start swiping and find another database of women that they can start flirting with or love bombing.
I've not been on a date for 2.5 years. 2.5 years, okay? Single mom.
Just leave us alone.
6 feet, 6 figures, 6 pack.
What is the real reason that you've given up on dating altogether or haven't dated in 10 plus years?
Peace is what a man is looking for.
Men just want a nice, sweet, supportive woman.
The easiest way to keep a man is be the only place he can find genuine peace.
Not beauty, not money, not status. Do we want those things? Yes. But where we find peace, we will settle.
If you can give a man true peace of mind, where he can just sit, chill, and turn his brain off, even for 10 minutes, I swear to God, he'll always come home to you.
So when I tell women, you need to be a man's peace. You need to make sure he has a peaceful home and a peaceful relationship. If you disturb that, he will look for peace elsewhere.
The final outcome? Many women are sitting around wondering why their once bright prospects have suddenly turned bleak, feeling unappreciated and ignored. And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW Voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.